Right, so that is it. 3 weeks post-surgery. Having got quite a big response from the last one I did. It wasn't necessarily such a big response on YouTube, but in my Instagram inbox, there was so many people. And what I didn't realize is how many people have Gyno or the beginnings of Gyno or whatever. Like, so many guys are thinking about it, but they're almost like embarrassed to talk about it. It's like a bit of a taboo thing. So in the interest of keeping everything transparent, I am now 3 weeks post-show, which means, post-show? Yeah, I'm done. Excuse me, let me start again. I am 3 weeks post-surgery. Brain isn't working right. So what that means is I'm now able to start training my chest again. So my chest hasn't been trained at all in 3 weeks. And fuck me, do I feel it. I feel incredibly flat. I've definitely downsized a wee bit. Don't get me wrong, it's not the end of the world, but I definitely feel less pumped, less, I don't know. But where obviously my chest went under quite a lot of trauma with the liposuction as well, I noticed the decrease in size because obviously there's less pump. I haven't been eating as much food on purpose to accommodate the fact that I've not been training. And also my chest went under some pretty extensive trauma. So it definitely doesn't quite, I mean, it was already a lagging body part and now it's fucking lagging. Off to train chest now, chest and triceps. So I'm gonna show you how it looks. Well, I'll show you how it looks right now. And I'm a little bit hairy, so bear with me. But, yeah. And as well, the sensation isn't quite back to normal. I'm still feeling like numb around the nipple area. I'm informed that it's all gonna come back to normal. There's been not really much pain at all. I have near enough complete movement. For example, if I were to hang off a chin-up bar, put my arms above my head, that would be painful. So basically stretching my arms above my head is painful. Not on the nipple, but around the part where they went in for the lipo. So basically where I've experienced trauma. So the nipple itself is not really painful at all. It's just the area around it, and in particular just below it. So just as basically my chest and abs meet kind of around the serratus area. I'm gonna go and train. I'm supposed to be taking it easy, and I will take it easy to a degree. I still need to work, you know what I mean? It needs to be worthwhile. I'm certainly not gonna be going full force just yet. So I shall show you post-workout as well, see how it looks. And it's happening in real time, so I don't actually know what it's gonna look like with a chest pump. Maybe shit, maybe good, we shall see. But as I say, I have downsized a wee bit, and I've come to terms with that for the most part, but I'm sure it'll come back in no time at all. So that is chest session number 1. And it was a bit of a weird one, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So as soon as I started training, I realized how compromised I was. I wasn't feeling super confident in the stretch position of my chest, training my chest. Clearly it's like a mixture of, you know, being out of action and also the trauma that my chest went under. So just took it easy, got a pretty good pump, as you can see from the video. And just going to ease myself back in. But I will be training chest 2 times a week from this point onwards. Split will be chest twice, legs twice, like one with a hamstring dominant, one with a quad dominant, bit of glute work as well. Yeah, all in all, very, very happy to be, it almost feels like I'm like re-volumizing my body again. Obviously in the time not training, I tapered my food down. So basically it made me feel like I was shrinking, and actually I was a little bit. It feels great to be back in the swing of things again, gaining weight, gaining fullness again. I'm looking forward to pushing things back up to where they were before. And it's going to be great to be able to see my chest looking like it should look, because for years I've just been accepting that there's this like these little lumps under my nipples and just thinking whatever, you know, just try and hide it or whatever, but now I don't need to, so that's great. I'm pretty buzzing with that. Okay, so it is Friday night, the day before the FitX show in Leeds, and I have a client in this competition, and his name is Paul, and not something that is in my job description, but Paul required someone to put his base coat of tan on. So I'm just on my way to Paul's now. He lives about 25 minutes from my house. Gonna put the base coat of tan on him, get a little bit of footage on the way as well. Hopefully we'll be able to have a little bit of a chat about how he feels after, well, I think his last show was in 2019. It's actually 4 years away from the stage for Paul. He's around about 25 pounds up from his last stage weight, and he's in better condition. So it's been a very, very good prep. And also just finalise the food for tomorrow. Make sure we've got a good plan of attack, nice and stress-free. Hopefully we get some success tomorrow. Right then. Okay, so here with Mr. Paul Atherton. How long have you worked together? It's been
about 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
9 months, yeah. So originally Paul was with me, and we was just sort of tidying up with no real ambition to compete or whatever. However, Paul started getting more and more in shape, and I just sort of put it to him. How long was that? It was like maybe 12 weeks ago.
About 12 weeks ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was in pretty good shape, but he'd been dieting quite a long time, so I was a little bit conscious to not over-diet him. I put it to him, not really knowing how he would take it, and he took to it immediately and was up for the competing. You've already competed before then, right?
Yeah.
When was that?
2019.
And how did it go?
Won PCA first timers.
Then you had no ambition to compete at all?
COVID got in the way then, so that slowed a lot of things up. And just like obviously general training after that, then obviously the home workouts, and then back into the gym. Back into the groove, and then thinking about competing again. Then obviously it was always in the back of my mind, but never really had a plan in place. And then obviously got working with you, and things started going in the right direction, and we decided let's do it basically.
100%, yeah. How would you say this prep has been different to your previous prep?
Massively different. Up until the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty much a breeze. It has been difficult, don't get me wrong. The dieting's always difficult. A lot less cardio than last time. We changed the step goals, which was really good. That was a lot more manageable. I could do a lot more whilst at work and not actually concentrate on just pure cardio after the weight sessions. So that was good. But it's been a lot easier, a lot more relaxed, and I think the results will show, hopefully. Yeah,
I agree. So Paul was 208 or 209 on stage?
208 last time, yeah.
208 pounds, and then this time you woke up this morning at 227?
227 this morning, yeah.
Yeah. So in the car, I just moved, I said 25 pounds, so I was a little bit off there. But the thing is with Paul, he was telling me about, in an ideal world, we'd be able to do all the cardio we want and train whenever we want, whatever, but there's real world implications that you have to think about as well. With Paul, you just moved house, new house, with your job as well, with your relationship. It was quite hard to manage everything, so we did it in such a way in which that was not going to stress you out too much, because there's another thing that we realised about your physique. It started to go backwards when we overstressed you.
Yeah.
A lot of output, low food, high training intensity. So it was about managing your fatigue levels. That was quite a big part of this, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
And how do you feel about tomorrow?
Slightly nervous, as always. It's difficult getting on stage in front of an audience, but I think I've prepared well for it. Put the time in with posing with Amy. Plenty of practice in the gym. So ready to go, really.
That's it. Right, well, let's have a little look, mate.
Okay.
Get your pants. Done. Nailed it. Them hands should stay in, yeah. Side tricep. Your legs in. Good drive. Yes, Paul. Keep on them legs, my boy.
Okay, gentlemen, quarter turn to your right.
Yes, Paul.
Lat spread.
Quads. Quads.
Side chest.
It's your pose, Paul. Come on in. Yes.
Rear double bicep.
Come on, Joe!
Let's go, Joe!
Lat spread.
Yes, Paul. Hamstrings. Spread them. Spread your lats. Spread your lats.
Side tricep.
Get in it quick. Midsection. Yes, yes.
Abdominals and thigh.
Yes, Paul. Quads, quads, quads. Quads.
And most muscular.
Let's go! Come on, Joe!
Quads. Quads.
Thank you, relax.
Yes, Paul.
That's it.
Shot, Joe!
Side chest.
Yes, Paul. Come on.
Rear double.
That's quite enough. Get to the back. Off you go. Come on.
Yes, Paul.
Okay. Class 1. Can we please present the invite to the British Finals and the third place trophy to number 4, Paul Atherton.
Yes, mate.
Huge round of applause for our other competitors. Very tough class. Thank you very much, guys.
Well done, guys. Great class. Let's have one post together as the top 3.
Fun double. Fun double.
And if we can have the winner on his own, please. So congratulations.
Present the second place trophy to number 2, Paul Atherton.
Well done, mate.
Okay, gentlemen, let's hit one post together as the top 3.
Right, so now the dust has settled on the show and feedback is also in. The feedback Paul received was needed to sharpen up posing, need to sharpen up from the rear, and in terms of development, just a wee bit more through the back as well. And being totally honest with you, when we were sort of critiquing Paul's performance between one another, we kind of came to the same conclusion anyway. So there's no real surprises there, and I think the judging was pretty bang on. Funnily enough, I think from the front, Paul could have potentially taken the win. Certain poses, Paul stood out. And I try and sit there in the crowd and be as objective as possible, but I was really doing that. And Paul definitely stood out. He really did me proud. There were certain things, there were certain poses where Paul looked fantastic, and I was really, really pleased with the look. I was actually, so the judges' table was here. I was literally sat 1 meter behind them, front row, because I was able to coach him from the crowd. Because there are certain things, there are certain bad habits that Paul falls into in terms of posing, you know. Bearing in mind, Paul had 4 years away from the stage. Yeah, and in the last maybe 10 to 12 weeks or so, he's really put an effort in with his posing. But, you know, you don't just master a craft within that sort of time. Obviously, you're better, and he is better. But there are certain bad habits that Paul falls into. And it was just basically me shouting, stand upright, you know, expand your chest, open up more, blah, blah, blah. So there's all sorts of things that I was just trying to shout. And that's the great thing about being there as a coach. You know, I can really help out, try and maximise his physique. But ultimately, You know, there is still a bit of work to be done, but I'm really, really happy with his look. I think he was against some really good guys. I actually think the Class 1 lineup was probably the best class of the day. No slouches in there, so it was really, really good. Good level of competition. And that's the funny thing about competitions, right? You know, you can get a competition where you win. And then everyone will say, oh, wow, you smashed it. But it depends who you're up against. It really does. Paul came third in a strong lineup. Then he came second against the guy who, again, was really, really good. So it's like, on another day, he could potentially have got more. But I think the judging was pretty fair. So it is what it is. Take it on the chin and move on. Now, I'm going to wrap this video up now, but I wanted to touch on one more thing, which I'll go into more detail on the next vlog. And that's to do with my gyno recovery. So I am now 5 weeks post-surgery, well, 5 weeks tomorrow. Some things are a little bit concerning. So my nipples are actually caved in. So basically, imagine my chest here. It took the gland away. But in doing so, you would think that would just leave me with my pec. But actually, what it's done, it's almost left an indentation like this. So it's not even like normal as it was before with that. So that's gone. But then it's also like this. It almost looks as if they've taken too much. I know they haven't. I know they've just taken a gland, but that's kind of what it looks like. As I say, I will show more in the next episode, but it's made me actually phone up Signature today. They're actually super on it. Like I don't live too far from it, so I just drove past when I was driving past today because I go to a gym near there as well. And I stopped him, and within 10 minutes I had a phone call back. And then also I was able to message the surgeon, the actual guy who did it. I messaged him, like we talk like directly. So that's a really good thing about Signature. He was able to give me that level of sort of like aftercare. And I'm just being reassured that at the moment there's just scar tissue. Things need to calm down. Right now I'm 5 weeks post-surgery. They reckon that, you know, 3 to 6 months is when I'm going to start seeing real big changes. So I'm still in the infancy stages of recovery. It just seems like my chest is taking a while to recover. Like it's actually less full than it was before. My chest is already a weakness, and then it seems like it's not taking so well to the training. So I'll get a good pump, and then I'll actually compare my chest to shots before, and it seems like doesn't actually seem any better at the moment. So that's a bit frustrating, but it's just one of them things. And I thought it's worthwhile talking about because I think it's something that people can relate to. It's not just all singing and all dancing. Sometimes, you know, you have to go through moments of doubt, and you know, I think sometimes people assume that they're the only one that goes through this kind of stuff. They think, well, it's all right for them, that they've got it okay, and it's all right. But it's like, no, we all go through certain things, and I'm having doubts myself at the moment. And you think, quite a big commitment, quite a lot of money that I've gone through, and it could have potentially ruined the look. But I stay positive. I've been reassured by them, and fingers crossed everything should be okay. But anyway, I will go into that more detail on the next vlog. Until then, thanks for watching.